I am the elder sister. I am the damage-red heir. And this house is mine if I want it. You and your son are here by my good grace.
This woman is a villain.
Hey, this is the Sword and the Pen Reflections. It is my casual alternative to that channel. If you're here, you know the deal. We are talking about Wheel of Time Season 2, Episode 6, and let's discuss Moiraine. The lady is a cold bitch, especially to her sister in this episode, and I figured this is the appropriate setting to talk about such a person. Let's do it. Okay, so it starts out with Moiraine watching Rand sleep. Now remember, she has told him, go to sleep, meet Lanfear in the dream world, and try to see if you can figure out what it is that she and Ashamael are up to. Like, what is it that their plan is? And then that way they can be more prepared for it. She's also pretty confident that Lanfear's not going to hurt him, but she's like, oh, I'll wake you up if things look bad. He wakes up, and the first thing that he says is,
I have to get out of here.
Away from you, that was her condition. If she sees us together again, she'll kill you.
Which sounds exactly like the sort of thing that a dark friend would say, and mean it. And could she kill Moiraine? Even if Moiraine was at full power, yes. So, Rand reveals that Lanfear told him that Moiraine was the one who moved Logain into Cairhien. And Moiraine is like, of course I did, because he's away from the White Tower this way. That way you can meet him and learn from him. If he was in the White Tower, you'd never be able to do any of those things. And this kind of upsets Rand, and he's like,
I've been here too long, I'm getting out of here.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why Moiraine felt that had to be a secret. Like, why does it have to be a secret that she made Logain available to him? This is beyond me. If anybody has answers, I don't think it's obvious in the book if that's, you know, if it's like keeping in line with something that the book would have done. So let me know what you think. But then Moiraine goes,
She's a Forsaken, Rand. You cannot listen to her.
in what way should he not listen to her? Because Lanfear's the one who told him Moiraine moved Logain to Cairhien so that he could learn from him. And Moiraine just confirmed that was true. So that was true. And then she told him, you need to get away from Moiraine or I'm going to kill Moiraine. What, does Moiraine not want him to listen to a threat? It seems like a very credible threat. I'm just not sure why she says you can't listen to her.
I'm getting so many mixed signals.
Maybe she's implying that if Lanfear told you anything else about me, like that I'm not trustworthy, you shouldn't listen to her then. But the thing is that nothing that Rand said just now was something that she was denying. So I'm not sure what she was trying to say with any of that. Anyway. Moiraine seems all exasperated and like, what am I going to do now? Like, did you have a plan before and this has ruined it? Because it seems like you didn't have a plan before this. So I'm not sure why this is a terrible thing. As long as the dragon survives, that's all that matters, right? In the next scene, we've got Moiraine writing a letter to Siuan to try to tell her that something has happened to me. I've been stilled. And she's unsatisfied with whatever way she is wording it and keeps throwing out all of her different versions of it. And Barthanus comes in with a sandwich. And again, before anybody knows that he's a dark friend, he's just so kind and like, look, I made you a sandwich. And you remember how you used to say that I made the best sandwiches? And I said it was because of the butter and it came from a really special cow. And she's just a total bitch to him. She's like, you can leave it right there.
Nobody likes you.
She doesn't even have the wherewithal to realize that she is being unkind to somebody that she cares about or is supposed to care about.
One ill turn deserves another.
Every villain has an origin story.
She's so selfish and wrapped up in herself. This is highly unlikable. What about writing this letter to Siuan that she can't even find the words to put in correctly? Like she can't. It's so important that she uses the right words, that it's okay for her to take all this time to think about what she's going to write about. But when somebody comes in with a kindness for her, somebody who she has no reason to be cold to, she just like, leave it there. So long. I just don't get it. Before we continue, please like, subscribe, and comment, even if it's just with an emoji. It's a free way for you to support the channel, and for me, it might bring in some money from all the commercials they keep putting on my videos. Or if you're feeling super generous, check out my Patreon or Ko-fi. I've got links in the description. Or you can hit the money heart thanks button down below. Now, let's get back to it. My lips are frozen. My whole face is frozen.
You were right. As always. It was worth a try, though.
Sister, I haven't slept, and sometimes I wonder how we all fell for it. My son worships you.
Thank goodness You've got her sister coming in and telling her off. Like, this was such a cruel thing for her to do. Moiraine needs her ass kicked. She needs to be slapped in the face. And at least the sister is the one to come in and do it again. Like, they're being very consistent, at least, with the sister being the one putting her in her place. Of course, that all gets kind of undone, but at least somebody's doing it. Someone has to do it.
I wonder how we all fell for it. My son worships you, as I worshipped you, as father.
Don't.
Again, she just does not care. She has no understanding of how care and love is expressed. This is not somebody saying something to her because she hates her or wants her to fail or anything like that. This is somebody who's like, you have hurt someone I love, who I know you love too, and I can't let you do that. And she's just like, shut up, don't. It's so unlikable. I don't know why the writers thought that this would be forgivable. Did they think that the big reveal about Barthanus is going to be enough for us to be like, oh, it's a good thing that she was an a-hole to him? No, because she didn't know that, and she definitely didn't suspect it.
He asked for you, you know. He was dying, and I was there holding his hand, and he just kept asking for you.
I love it that the sister gives her that jab that, you know, he was asking for you. I was the one who was there holding his hand, their father, obviously, who she's speaking about. And yet he was asking for you. Again, Moiraine just, so.
We sent word to the White Tower. You knew that he was dying and that the only thing he wanted was you. You. What was so important that you couldn't come home and hold your own father's hand while he left us? I know you never cared for me, but you loved him. You always loved him. What was so important? All right.
Again, Moraine's face shows no care for the fact that her father, who she loved and who she knows loved her, was asking for her on his deathbed, and she didn't come to be with him as he was dying. There's no care on her face at all. She couldn't even write a letter. Like, she couldn't do even that. There's nothing that should have stopped her from writing a letter. What does that take from you? Nothing. Ugh.
Yeah! All right!
I want you out of this house and out of this city tomorrow.
Okay. Better than nothing, I guess.
I am the elder sister. I am the damage red heir. And this house is mine if I want it. You and your son are here by my good grace.
Fuck you.
There's no words to express how unlikable this makes this particular character. Even I am trying to save existence is not a big enough excuse for her behavior here. You don't have to be unkind to somebody just because you're busy with something even more important. You can say, I want to be there so badly, but I can't. I don't think you understand. I am trying to save existence. But she couldn't even do that. And again, I'm glad the sister had the final word in that moment.
You got none of what made him good, Moiraine. None of it. You are mother, through and through.
Oh, I hope that jabbed her like a knife in the side and then twisted hard. Oh, I want Moiraine to suffer. I want her to suffer. She deserves it. And she's not suffering enough just by being stilled. I'm sorry, she's not. If she was, none of this behavior would be happening. She would have learned from this experience and she would be a nicer, kinder person. But she's not.
Ah, Jonas. This letter needs to be delivered to Anaya Sedai of the Blue Aja. She'll get it where it needs to go.
And it's only after this does she seem to kind of like, oh, maybe I should do something to smooth things over with Barthanus.
Too late. Had a chance. Muffed it.
You can't treat people like crap and then feel sorry for it later every single time. Because it just shows that you don't care enough to change your behavior. You just like to get forgiven for it after you've done it.
Sorry? No, sorry doesn't cut it.
There will be serious consequences.
So she apologizes to him and says, your sandwiches were always great. Then she like boosts his ego, like this is gonna smooth things over enough.
Oh, I'm sorry. And you're a really great person. Like, you're so much better than I am. You're gonna be a great king.
Like, alarm bells are going off like crazy. If you ever met somebody like this, you should run and stay as far away from them as possible. This is not a good heroine for a show. unless she's going to have her ass handed to her for a long time in order to make up for this. If you want to know what I mean, go watch my video about the Greyjoy treatment. You'll know what I mean. She needs to pay a price, and she has not yet. And the sister comes in just in time to see that Barthanus and Moiraine are hugging, and Moiraine seems surprised that she got this hug. You should be. And says that the Amerlin seat is here and she is demanding an audience with you, Moiraine. And that's it for Moiraine in this episode. Not a lot, and honestly, not enough. If you're not going to have your character go through some meaningful sort of change, there's not much of a point in showing what they're doing. I mean, they spent the majority of the time with this character in this episode showing why we shouldn't like her. And then at the very end, trying to slip in like, oh, we should like her because she said she's sorry. And, you know, she boosted his ego and said, oh, you're such a good guy, Barthanus. You're going to be a great king. Like, you're going to be better than I ever could have been. You're going to make this family proud and you're going to bring our house name up in society. It's going to be great because of you.
I don't believe you for a second.
Oh, you don't?
That is correct.
Why? Why are they doing this to her? Is Moiraine like this in the book at all? I have not gotten to that part yet. I'm only at the end of book 4 at this point, but I've never seen her act this way. I'm not sure why the writers thought that this would be a good thing for them to do with her. It's not a good thing to do with her. Not unless you're going to see some very significant change in her. And that change has to be prompted. It has to be earned. It has to be something that we understand. Oh, that's why she's like this. Instead, we don't see that happening at all. We see her making her apologies and we see her going like, you were a better person than I am, but she's still treating everybody like crap. I don't see what it is that prompted her to change. Was that knife in the side from her sister really what did it? It's not convincing. I don't know, maybe it is for you guys, but for me, it's not. And if this was my story, I'd be like, no, she's got to suffer a lot more. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here because I'm hearing the ice crack over my head and behind me. So anyway, that's it. Please like, subscribe, and comment, even if it's just with an emoji. It's a free way to support this channel. Or if you're feeling super generous, check out my Patreon, Ko-fi, or hit the money heart thanks button down below. You can become a subscriber or you can leave a one-time tip. Be good to yourself. I am way too cold to keep going. The temperature dropped significantly